Hey everyone, this is Julian from the Barney Lab, and right now on a swing in an interesting shopping mall where they have a food fair. And my wife is currently getting a pedicure done, so I'm here making this video. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be talking about trader psyche, and it's going to be about removing or managing the triggers to some of the problems that you may experience as a trader. And most of the time, it's going to be the kind of things that make you make silly trading decisions, right? Or have lapses in judgment. Why did this topic come about? Well, basically, I have been an aggressive driver for quite some time, and some time ago, I found a way to manage that with music. But recently, like just yesterday, there was a little incident that happened that made me, you know, just so agitated all over again. And with the agitation, I then realized that there was a trigger to the problem, and so to fix that, I will now have to manage the symptom and remove the trigger. Okay, so I want to talk about this in relation to trading because it's really quite much the same thing. um, for me, when I was driving, the trigger was like this motorcyclist that was trying to squeeze through a very small space and ruin my wrap job on my recently wrapped very awesome RS7 that I done up so nicely that you probably see in some of my Facebook photos or videos. So the front bumper has to be redone, and having it just done up last week, I got furious. Okay, and for the rest of the day, I just drove as though, like everyone is supposed to uh, everyone's supposed to make way, or rather, like I'm not going to give way to anyone on the road. And is that a good feeling? No, it isn't. And I used to have a problem with this some time ago, and that actually went away when I realized that when I listen to electronic dance music, the specific niche being like it's what's called hardstyle. So if you guys know Brandon Hart, he does hardstyle. He's famous for that. When I listen to hardstyle music, somehow I just feel as though my stress level can't possibly go up. It just doesn't go up. Um, and whenever whenever, let's say, if I'm gonna go into a long jam of traffic, as long as I have hardstyle EDM music playing on the background, I am totally fine. My wife was shocked at how, like, based on the traffic conditions, based on the motorcycles, my my so-called symptoms of aggressive driving were not appearing. So I want to relate this back to trading because, like I said, this is a trading channel, and I teach value trading and right now forex trading as well. So a lot of you may have the tendency to trade over aggressively, and symptoms of aggressive trading typically would be like when you chase losses, or perhaps you kind of like have bad money management, and you use your account uh, you use your account balance very irresponsibly, perhaps also money management basically. So let's talk about how to manage that. We can either manage the problem uh, by trying to alter the mindset at the place and time that you're trading. This could be by environment, it could be music. Uh, like may have it, you would be surprised at how powerful it is just to have like an in-ear music playing. So one of those in-ear earphones is actually really really helpful. I have one example to show you. I think I brought it. Let's see if I brought it. I did bring it. Okay, so these are like Bose earphones. They are really really good. Um, I picked these up over 2 years ago, and it's really good. Um, so in your music, just play. You gotta explore different genres. For me, hardstyle works really good. I don't know why. For some people, it makes them feel adrenaline, but for me, it actually calms me down and prevents my stress levels from elevating. giving me a very high sense of alert calm. Okay, so um, that's one thing. The other way is remove the triggers. So if the trigger for me in traffic would be uh, if for me it's more like busy junctions where there could be a lot of motorcycles trying to weasel their way to the front. So perhaps, for me, removing the triggers could be avoid going out at times when the traffic is heavy, or avoid going to places where there's going to be heavy traffic. Avoid busy junctions, um, like getting to the front of the traffic row so that motorcyclists wouldn't have the space to get in front of me. These are ways that I can manage this issue. So for traders, are you trading in a market that is too difficult for you? Let's say, are you trading when the news releases are just coming out? If so, you can reduce that by why not like trading like either earlier or later. So most of the time, if you're coming on to the market when it opens, it can be very busy and chaotic. So how about starting your trading like half an hour later, 45 minutes later, okay? And let's say if certain pairs are giving you a hard time, there was a time when Canadian pairs were giving members in my group a hard time on one of the previous strategies, and we just decided we're going to stay away from Canadian pairs. We now trade Canadian pairs because we're using a different approach, but that's what we did at the time. The other thing is that if a certain time frame is causing you a lot of stress, or perhaps like it may have done you well in the past, but right now that time frame is not working so well for you anymore. One of the things I recently found out is that going between forex and binary, all right, I find that in forex I have not yet exceeded my risk allocation per trade, which is actually very, very easy to do in binary because you can just click the mouse a couple of times and then your trade just engages a couple more times. So like sometimes it's very easy to happy click and over risk, overexpose yourself. And whereas in forex, basically everything is a well-considered decision, because when I'm looking at a forex setup, it's usually like M30 and up, M30, H1, and H4. These are the ones that I look at most of the time. And before I enter a trade, I always calculate my position size according to the stop loss I'm going to be setting for that trade. In binary, it usually never happens that way. Also because in binary, it's not required to calculate position size because it's fixed. Because you risk it. Sometimes the conveniences make it a little bit too easy. So maybe what you could do is, how about teach yourself some discipline by once you win the trade, instead of switching the chart to a different pair, close the chart, open a new chart, set up your indicators again, and then pick the trade. That's going to cause some delayed time between trades. You can call it opportunity loss, but at the same time, if you do that, it's going to help you avoid going in trades back to back. And this is one good point to note because very often, like the market is correlated in such a way that if you, the movements all like interlinked. If you just caught a movement somewhere, there is going to be like a lull after that somewhere else. So if you're not allowing time in between your trading, that could be one of the reasons why you're actually losing. Okay, a lot of the people also have the tendency to martingale, and you can combat this by allowing some time between your trading. Stall yourself, or even like look at a different time frame. If you look at a different time frame, for example, if you're always on the 15-30 second, if you go up to a 1 minute, if you go up to a 2 minute or a 5 minute chart on your options, binary options platform, that's going to give you more reaction time, more deliberation time, because you know that if one trade don't work out, the next trade is going to be that many minutes away, and in that few minutes, a lot of things can change in the markets as well. So these are just some pieces of advice that I have, and basically converting some psychological management concepts that like that worked for me when I actually managed my aggressive driving habits. Not that it, not that it was not that it's like uh, not that I don't enjoy it. Okay, I mean it's fun, this adrenaline rush, but I mean it was annoying for my wife. Uh, and in terms of trading, if you are aggressively trading, it can possibly not be a good thing as well, because there's only so many times that you can be right before you kind of like make a wrong move and the mental state overcomes you and you do something really stupid. Okay, so I hope this helps. Um, Good trading, and if you wish to be included in my trading groups, look at the video description. I include ways that you can get into my binary and forex groups. And actually, here's a recommendation as well. If you've been trading binary, or if you're in my binary group, you may actually want to look into forex as well. Not because, not because like it's better or anything. It's not about whether it's better or not, but it's just another way that you can profit. Because wouldn't you agree that there's certain times of the year, certain weeks of the year where the binary market is like totally quiet, and at the same time, if it even wasn't that, if you currently have issues with yourself managing emotions when you trade, letting your emotions override you, like when you go into forex, because of the setup time involved, because of the time higher time frames that we use, there's a lot more calm involved when you place those trade setups as well. So perhaps that could benefit you in your trading. You can actually train yourself while making profits at the same time. Good trading for now, and remember to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Click the like button as well and share this video if it makes sense. Bye for now.